What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James with Mint Hunter Comics, and at the beginning of the year when CGC said they were going to raise the prices, I went ahead, kind of panicked, and submitted 125 books from my Green Lantern collection out to be graded. It is now back. 68 out of the 125 made it back, got the perfect 9.8, and we're going to do an unboxing. So there's actually kind of a funny story to this submission. When you pre-screen to CGC, you pay once they're done grading it. That way, if you submit 25 books in and only 10 get a 9.8 or whatever grade you have it set to, you're only charged for the 10, and then you get like a small fee. It used to be $5 for every book that wasn't graded. CGC just upped it to $8, which is another reason why I wanted to get these all in when they did. But what happened is they actually charged me for all 125 books when this first got to CGC many months ago, which was just financially deadly to me. That was an awful surprise. But I contacted the customer support representative, and she was like, okay, what we can do is we'll just reimburse you, and then we'll do it the proper way, proper channels. I was like, look, why don't I just keep your number? I'll message you when these are finally done, and we'll just take the tally off what I already paid versus what actually got slapped. So interestingly, I spent a ton on 125 comics, and because 68 got done, for every book that didn't get graded, I just got a refund. So I actually got some money back, which was very nice. I knew I wanted to do it that way, so I'm glad I did. But let's dive in, guys. There's a lot of books I want to show you. This stack is what I kind of put this to the side. I think this is going to be the quote-unquote the boring stack / everything that's not Green Lantern. So I'm just going to get started here. I don't know where I'm going to put these books when I'm done. I guess I'm going to put them right here. No particular order. Batman 106. This had just come out. I think this was the week this came out. I sent it off and it got in. Very nice. First appearance of Miracle Molly. And then we've got another one. 106. Very nice. First Miracle Molly. And then we have a 107. Actually, the date on that's somewhat recent. That's only June. So it looks like this submission, I didn't wait as long as some of these crazy wait times that I have been experiencing. Let's keep it going here. Oh, this next little pile here, this stuff is for sale. I'm selling everything here. Death Metal number 7, first appearance of Lara Emoto. That is the David Finch variant. And I have 2. If you want them, you let me know. Alright, same thing here. First appearance of Lara Emoto, the regular cover A, and I do have another one as well. It's for sale. I'll put the information on the side if you want to contact me and make a payment. Another one, this is the Lao variant, and I do have 2 of them as well. Kind of flying through this. Oh, I think this is the last one that's not Green Lantern. There's the second one. Okay, guys, this is a big one. This is a pretty freaking big book. Not bad for a book I casually just threw in with the rest of my Green Lanterns. I gotta say, I didn't expect that. So, Jane Foster becomes Thor. The second part of this one pile, I think, is a little boring. These are the ones that, like, I second-guessed. I didn't really think I was going to submit in, and then I did at the last second. I'm glad they got the 9.8, but they're a little random, this little stack here. So, since I do collect, I try to collect pretty much every Green Lantern book, and, whatever, there's worse things than having them. Larfleeze, one of my favorite DC characters of all time. And actually, I'll put it up for sale because I have an extra. So if you guys want, you can own Larfleeze number 1. Keeping it moving here. Here's a Green Lantern annual. This was a fun little annual from 2019, so I'm glad I grabbed it, or glad I slabbed it. Here's the brand new Green Lantern run, which I actually think is a lot of fun. Have you guys been enjoying that? There's that one, and I also have the 1 in 25. Now, guys, pretty much anything Green Lantern is my personal collection, so I'm not really selling anything here, okay? And then we just had a couple. Again, these are ones I didn't know if I was going to actually submit them, and at the end, I kind of tossed them in at the end. Sinestro, kind of a cool lenticular cover there. Part of the new 52, I believe. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alright, which stack should I do next? I think this is 90s fans, 80s fans, and this is like my miscellaneous pile. Let's do the 80s. Let's do it. Here's one from 1979, and this is actually a duplicate. So maybe I'll sell this. I don't know. One of the duplicates I have. Green Lantern 114 from 1979. Here's another one from 79. This is 117. Very nice. Green Lantern 122. It's the last Green Lantern Green Arrow team up. Very nice. It's kind of the sequel to the first appearance of the Omega Men, but it's Green Lantern 142. I think it's off the top of my head. Green Lantern 141 is the first Omega Men, so it's a nice companion piece to finally have. And I think I sent 2 of those in. I think only one got it. So now this is cool. Now, I didn't know this. I submitted this in blindly. Green Lantern 157 from 1982. It's the Canadian price variant. Very nice indeed. Hector Hammond appearance, 75-cent Canadian price. Wow. Very cool. And I did see that there were 2 of those. Here's, what's this one? Green Lantern 159. That one might be a duplicate. I think I might have one of those already. Very nice stuff. I have to check. I have to update my list of which Green Lantern 98 slabs I have. From 1983, this one's 164. Very nice. Okay. Almost through the 80s. Unfortunately, a lot of my 80s and the late 70s ones got returned. They didn't get the grade. But here's another one, 168 from 1983, getting a nice 9.8. Some of you might be asking, okay, did you get these pressed? I actually didn't. Some of them I did, but for the most part, most of these, I didn't. It would have been too many comics. It would have been too expensive. Would I got more of the 125 back? Definitely. But I just couldn't. That's time and money that I couldn't afford. And I'm pretty pleased with getting 68 back. That's not bad. Green Lantern 179, another Canadian price variant. Very nice. That's impressive. I don't have too many Canadian price variants, or maybe I need to look again, because maybe I just do. Green Lantern 195. Great classic cover right there. Okay. Alright, let's keep it moving. And then the last of the 80s, unfortunately, it was a duplicate. I guess I forgot I sent it in. Death of Tomar Ree, Green Lantern 198. Couple keys in here. I found that most of the keys are going to be in these piles, though. That's a big one, though. Alright, yeah, there's a really big one here. This is kind of a random one. Justice League, Midsummer's Nightmare. Kind of another one I didn't know if I was really going to submit, because I wanted to basically stick to the 80s, 90s, and the Jeff Johns run. But that's, you know, that's a nice surprise. I don't know what I'll do with that. Then we got, here's a big one. Big. All-Star Squadron number 25. Do you guys know what that is? That's the first appearance of Jade. It's the first appearance of Obsidian. Atom Smasher or something? I'm completely forgetting all the characters that are introduced. That's a big book. And I'm really glad because I actually sold my copy just a few months ago. And I really regretted it. And I was hoping this one would get it, and it did. So, that's amazing. Alright, now here's one that I'm happy I got the 9.8, but I'm bummed that CGC didn't listen to me. This is the first appearance of Ganthet. You know Ganthet. One of the main dudes from the OA Council. And I asked them to make sure it said first appearance of Ganthet. Instead, they just said silver foil logo. You're going to see I had some successes in here. I got them to rename some stuff correctly, and some ones that they didn't listen to me. Moving on down, here's another one of the more kind of random ones. Green Lantern Circle of Fire one-shot. Very nice. I remember reading that as a kid, so that's actually pretty cool. Now here's, this was another random one. There's a couple of the Green Lantern Corps quarterlies. There's only 8. It was a mini-series. A couple of them are keys. This wasn't, but I was happy that I got it. The next one, however, is... And this is one that I was unsuccessful on my last submission. This time, my other copy got it. First, Lara Emoto. Is that it? Emoto? Lara? I don't know the best way to pronounce her name. I do like that it is a newsstand. Yeah, Lara Emoto, that's a kind of a major Green Lantern figure for the 90s and into the 2000s, so I was very happy about that. That's one I've been on a hunt for a while. Speaking of ones I've been on the hunt for a while, you guys have heard me talk about this on this channel. And I was actually misled. KeyCollector.com wrongly actually wrote that this is the first true cameo of Kyle Rayner. And unfortunately that's not true, and I believed them, and I said on this channel, this is actually the first appearance of Kyle Rayner. It's not. What it is, though, it's actually the first appearance of the Kyle Rayner's suit that we know him by, not Green Lantern 51. It actually did come out before that. So it does still have some notability, notoriety, whatever you want to call it. That's just a sweet one, man. Great logo on the cover there. I don't know how many of these exist. This might be the only one. Keep it moving now. Justice League 31. This is the first full appearance of Jessica Cruz. I was lucky. I actually got 30 and 31. And one of these, I think it's... Which one did I sell? I can't remember if I sold 30 or 31, but one of those I have a duplicate of, so that's cool. Yeah, number 30 right there. Sweet. So, number 30 is the second cameo of Jessica Cruz. This time her face is revealed, yeah. And then the 31 is the first full-blown appearance, so. Okay. Now we got Green Lantern 64. We're into the Jeff Johns run. My favorite comic book run, pretty much of all time. I love and adore the Jeff Johns comic book run. There's issue 64. Awesome. That's the big War of the Green Lanterns right there. Actually, I have a duplicate of this now, so that's pretty cool. Brightest Day variant cover of Green Lantern 58. Oop, I'll do that later. Alright, keep it moving with the Jeff Johns run. I've got, I think this is part of Secret Origin, yeah. Great Guardians of the Universe, Guardians of Oa cover right there. I don't know if that's Ganthet or whomever, but that's pretty sweet. Yeah, these I really want because these are part of my favorite comic book run, of all time. So I love these. Here's 31, Secret Origin Part 3. Very nice. Green Lantern Secret Origin, what's it, issue 30 through 36 or 29 through 36, I don't remember, is like one of the best Green Lantern stories you'll ever read, so I highly recommend it. Here's part 2, number 30, right there. Unfortunately, part 1 did not get it. Issue 29 did not come back. Oh, here's a big one. All right, so here we go. Green Lantern 25. And I actually just sold my other copy of Green Lantern 25 once I knew that this was coming in. Now, I had a major success with them updating the notes. I have been very vocal about how it's the first cameo of Atrocitus, Larfleeze, Saint Walker, Monk. There's a lot of first cameos in here, and they always only mentioned Larfleeze and Atrocitus. They also never mentioned the fact that it's the death of the Anti-Monitor. Now they say death of Anti-Monitor and first appearance of Larfleeze, Monk, and Atrocitus. So I got them to mention Monk. They still have to update it to say Saint Walker. Unfortunately, I simply don't think there's enough room for this book to mention all that. But that's a sweet 9.8, and this book has crept into like the $400 range. But yeah, moving forward, I believe all Green Lantern 25s are now going to have slightly more accurate notes. You're welcome. Alright. Next. I think this is the last of the Jeff Johns run. Green Lantern, number 8, Neil Adams variant cover. Neil Adams returning to Green Lantern, doing what he does best. Now, last part here, we're moving on to the 90s, which is my favorite part because the 90s Green Lantern run, even though I think the Jeff Johns run is better, this is what I grew up with, and this is what I came home and I kept rereading the same damn 10 Green Lantern comics every day. Green Lantern Annual number 1 from 1992. Awesome. And we have Green Lantern number 3. This is volume 3, number 3. Cool cover of Hal Jordan punching Guy Gardner in the face there. Okay. Here's a weird one. The only reason I submitted it is I just thought it looked really clean, but I think the cover is really stupid. I came to this run a little late, so I remember it from like the 50s up. But this is number 10. And that's Guy Gardner getting weird with some furries. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Now this next one, number 11, is the first appearance of the Poglishan Green Lantern Corps. It's basically like a fake Green Lantern Corps. And I actually got CGC to be able to update the notes. So that's awesome. That's another win in the notes category. I told you I have some wins and some losses. Here's another kind of random one. Volume 3, number 26 from 1992. I really enjoyed that run, guys. I really did. This is a little earlier than what I remember. These are some of the comics I've gone back and reread. I was more of the Kyle Rayner guy. A beautiful copy of issue 41. That's just nice. Again, guys, these are all personal collection books. These are just... I loved these as an adult. Some of the ones coming down here I loved as a kid and an adult. Like this one. Here's one I read to death. This is not the same copy, obviously. Green Lantern 51, 1994. So that's pretty freaking sweet. That is, they call this the first appearance of Kyle Rayner's new costume, even though it's really Green Lantern Corps Quarterly number 8. So, very sweet. Alright, moving on. I'm going to tell you why this book is one of the favorites in my whole collection. For whatever reason, Green Lantern number 59, I reread the crap out of this as a kid. I don't know if I liked the Christmas in New York setting that it had. It's just one of those ones I reread a lot. There's like some pages in here that I adapted into my own artwork as a kid to kind of practice. I don't know. It's just a really important book to me. So it may appear to be the most random thing in the world, you know, just Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern going after Dr. Polaris. But to me, that's something. And then another major one here is The one I had with a kid was the DC Universe logo because I got it through those Toys R Us packs. But Green Lantern number 66, it's the first appearance of Sonar, and I got them to make mention of that up at the top. So that's very rewarding to have one of my favorite comics. It's 66 and 67. It's a two-part issue where him and Flash go up against Sonar. I loved these issues as a kid. And now I have the first appearance right there. So that's really sweet. That's like the type of stuff that I don't see myself ever selling. Here's one I submitted because I think the cover is fantastic. Another great Kyle Rayner cover right there. Green Lantern, Volume 3, number 70. We're now in 1996. Alright, Green Lantern, number 75. Death of Charlie Vicker. Right there. Another sweet cover. Very awesome, very nice. This stack is becoming as tall as like a small child. Alright, Green Lantern Volume 3, number 77 of August of 1996. I remember reading these, man. I really do. It's cool. I love submitting the stuff that most people won't think to submit. That's just honestly like more exciting for me. Alright, Green Lantern Volume 3, number 96 in 1998. Now this is a three-part cover. I think there was a Flash issue and maybe another Green Arrow or something, and it was kind of a, what do you call that? Like a panoramic thing there. But this is one part of that, so that's pretty cool. Alright, winding down now. Issue 97. I can't imagine there's too many of these that have been submitted to CGC, that's for sure. Very nice. Alright, Green Lantern Volume 3, number 113. I thought this was a key. I think I remember trying to get them to write something for the notes there. They didn't. That's okay. Very cool. Alright, last two books here. Green Lantern 120. We're now into the year 2000. Ooh, recent. 21 years ago. Wow. And then the last book, Green Lantern 125. And all it says is appearance from the JLA. Very nice. The amount of money I saved by getting them to CGC when I did, instead of having the new pricing hit all these, this is the amount that I saved. Yeah. That's a big deal. Did you think I did okay? Let me know if you wanted a couple of those books in the beginning. Sorry, but I gotta say, most of these are personal collection books. I'll be putting them away, and this is a bit of a pick-me-up. And as always, keep on hunting.